Hey y'all, it's Cameron with the K, coming to you guys with a new video. So as you can tell by the title, today's video is all about the business side of being an influencer. So that is what today's legal tea is going to be about. But really quick intro, so if you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. For those of you that don't know, I'm an attorney, content creator, entrepreneur, YouTuber, basically all the things we love on social media with a little bit of a lawyer twist. So with my lawyer hat, I like to help other creators, entrepreneurs, and influencers make sure that we are securing the accurate bag, okay, through contracts as well as negotiating our brand deals and several other aspects that comes along with being an influencer and a creator in the digital space. So essentially, I practice influencer marketing and social media law. There aren't many laws out there, insider, but there are a ton of guidelines, resources, and regulations that I myself am trying to make sure that I'm spilling the tea on, as I like to coin it. So if you have any other questions about the legal tea, definitely make sure you guys are following us over on Instagram at the Legal Tea Social, and check out thelegaltea.com so you can book a clarity call, a contract consultation, get a contract template, whatever you need, we are here to help. I almost forgot, I have to give a disclaimer for the Legal Tea series videos, y'all. So although I am a licensed attorney, I am not your attorney. This is not legal advice. This is only for educational and informative purposes only. If you are looking for an attorney, please seek counsel in your local jurisdiction by contacting your state bar association. For example, you can call New York State Bar Association. They can provide you with a lawyer referral. So, got that out of the way. Okay, so we're going to be focused on 7 major topics in today's video. Again, if you have questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'm going to be talking really high level over these topics. If you guys would like to see a more in-depth video on any of these things, definitely let me know. This is probably the first thing we all think of when we think of like an influencer. You know, I need to stop with the quotes because I hate when people are like, I'm an influencer. It's like, no, we are influencers, period, okay? But seriously, let's get into brand partnerships. So when you see brand partnerships, you see the sponsor, the hashtag ad, the hashtag paid partnership, all those things, and it looks glamorous. Like, oh my God, you get to work with these brands you love, which that part is amazing. I get to pick and choose, essentially. I can say yes to brands that I want to work with. A lot of times they're brands that I already have loved and or products I get to try and then fall in love with. Both of those are just amazing experiences I get to share with my audience, especially there's times where I'm like, oh, my audience is gonna love this. Like, I know we've been talking about this, whether it's a hair product or a makeup product or a clothing item or whatever. I just love sharing that with you guys. I always say, like, an influencer, we're kind of like a guinea pig. Like, we try it first and it's like, child, it didn't get what's supposed to give. And or like, girl, secure the bag. Go ahead and get your purse, get your wallets ready. So I just love that about being an influencer. And it also tests my creativity. Like, I'm able to stretch and try new things and just have fun creating content online and building an amazing, phenomenal community. When I tell you my fam online, I love being a source of inspiration and motivation. When you guys say that, that's really my goal with my platform. I want to show people that you can work hard, you can slay, but you can still prioritize self-care, self-love, the journey of growing into who you desire to become. And all of y'all have kind of come along that journey and continue to go on that journey with me, which I love. I'm just so grateful to have you guys. But with that, there's a lot of behind the scenes that happens before you guys see the actual post. For example, we're negotiating with brand partnerships. We're trying to pitch brand partnerships. We're trying to make sure our content aligns with specific brands that we desire to work with. Contracts, negotiation, back and forth, that can take weeks, sometimes months. Coming up with the creative concept, getting it confirmed and approved by the brand, creating the content. Whether we have a team, which I'm going to talk about in a second, whether you're having to outsource different things in order to create the type of quality content that you desire to provide to that brand and provide for your platforms in general. That whole process there can take months. Then you finally post the content. After it's been approved, you might have to reshoot. That's a whole nother thing, child. But then you finally post the content. You're interacting with your audience. You need to review the analytics, submit the analytics to the brand. Then you have to wait for payment, follow up on payment if they ain't on time, child. It's a process. And all of that can be stressful for one person to do. And that can be a lot of research, a lot of stress, a lot of late nights, a lot of not finding a healthy work-life balance. And I'm speaking from experience, which is why working with brands that help put emphasis on prioritizing your mental health, prioritizing self-love, self-care, taking those moments away from work when you just are burnt out and you just cannot do it anymore. Because yes, it's great working with brands. Yes, it's great being an influencer. Yes, it's great being a creator and doing something you love as a career, but you have to put you first. You cannot pour from an empty cup, which is why I'm so excited that today's video is actually in partnership with BetterHelp. That's Better H-E-L-P. If you have been on my channel for any amount of time, then you know how important mental health is for me, especially as a Black creator, a Black lawyer at that. There are so many different layers when it comes to mental health and self-love and self-care. And I want to break some of the barriers down because some of those layers hinder us from actually seeking help, which is why BetterHelp makes it so easy for you to do. They make it accessible. It's a lot more affordable. And honestly, once you set up your profile, you can get set up within 48 hours and start talking to a licensed professional therapist that quickly. They respond so quickly, whether you want to get on a phone call with them, a live video session, or just type within the message feature that they have. It is just a plethora of ways for you to be able to communicate your needs to them. They also have a journal feature within the app, which I personally love because I'm able to journal my thoughts and share that with my therapist, because sometimes like it just comes to me randomly and I need to just vent it out in words, and then I can't really communicate to her very well. So she's able to go and like see my journal notes and then able to tell me exactly the steps that she professionally can recommend me that's going to really help me put myself up and take the right steps in the right direction. Because honestly, sometimes we'll talk to our friends and our family and they mean well, but they're not a professional, right? They have over 20,000 therapists, yes, and they service clients worldwide. Y'all, if you haven't tried BetterHelp, like, I know some people are weird about brand partnerships and ads and sponsorships, but that aside, I have been in some form of therapy in and out all my life, whether it's childhood traumas or it's just dealing with life, whether I'm happy and I want to express it, whether I'm sad and I need to get through it, whatever the case may be. Therapy has always been important to me. Self-love, routines, pouring into me, prioritizing self-care. I just did a solo trip. I'm in a whole relationship and I still did a solo trip because me time is important. So check out BetterHelp. There's no shame in getting help. Honestly, like, the moment you do something for you selfishly, do something for you boldly, self-care is not selfish, by the way, you will feel so good. So many other areas of your life will start to align. Like, I'm so passionate about this, and I'm so thankful to be working with a company like BetterHelp because they even reminded me like the importance of talking about it online. It doesn't have to be a hush-hush. I'm not ashamed of it in my real life, so why should I be online? And I really want you guys to seek the help that you need, whether you're happy and you want to just talk about it, or you're going through something and you need the right professional steps to get through it, because life is hard. Why make it harder by doing it by yourself? Get some help. So definitely check out BetterHelp. That's HELP.com/CameraMonet, and you'll get 10% off your first month. And if you have any questions about it, don't hesitate to leave some comments, DM me on Instagram. Like, let's talk about it. Let's get through it because we're all in this together, okay? Life, the circle of life is hard, okay? Oh, I do want to say that BetterHelp is not a crisis line or like a self-help line. They are professional therapy. So sign up. I'll leave links, all the things, and let's get back into the video. So, for example, that was a brand partnership. You just talk about the brand, say it's sponsored by the brand, but even before you saw that quick little insert within this video, there was a lot behind the scenes. There was the getting to know the brand. We got on 2 different calls so that I can understand what they're looking for, understand their brand identity, because whenever I personally present a brand, and I hope you do as well, I research the heck out of that brand, whether it's a household name or not. I want to make sure that I am attaching my brand, Criminology LLC, to brands that actually align with my brand identity and that I know my audience is going to receive well and going to want to interact with and purchase and participate and learn and all the things, okay? That is more important to me than a quick coin, okay? Because money is out here. Because what did I say in my last vlog? If you guys are up to date, I always end my videos with affirmation. In my last video, I said, money flows freely to me, and I truly believe that, and I believe that for you as well. So don't get caught up in the money hungriness of brand partnerships, but just know it's hard work. So you do want to get accurately paid for it. So make sure that you are charging your worth. You are taking your time with those brand partnerships. Don't let them rush you. And then at the end, you're like, dang, I didn't know it was going to be all this work. Or dang, I should have charged more. Or dang, I really don't like this brand. Or dang, they're in a scandal and I didn't accurately give myself a way to terminate this contract. There's so many nuances within that, which is why I had to include this on the business side of influencing, which this may be also the funnest part of influencing, but it's also very complex. What I want to talk about is registering your business and choosing your business entity. So I'm not going to talk into too much detail. Like I said, But I did want to put this on the list because it is so important to make sure that you understand what type of protection you have over yourself as well as your business. You want to make sure that, let's say, for example, you're getting sued for something. It happens, okay? And you want to protect your personal assets. So what that would look like is, if I am suing you because you talk negatively about a brand when you signed a contract that said you would not under your disparagement clause, maybe I'm suing you and I'm coming after your personal money as well as your brand's money. Now, when you have an entity, it could separate those two things, so then you're able to protect your personal money, so maybe your house and your mortgage and any other personal assets that you may have, where they can only come after your business assets. So that's why it is so important to have that difference there. I almost knocked over my water. Also, it's really beneficial when it comes to taxes, which is going to be the second thing we're going to talk about. So if you're trying to figure out which entity you should do, so there's several different ones that you can register under, such as an LLC, that's probably the most common, as well as a corporation, and there's a variety of different aspects that happen with under that. So I suggest talking to an attorney in your state, because they do tend to vary state by state, but you also want to make sure you have federal protection as well. Trademarks, register your copyright, things of that nature. I'm going to say this is all within that category of registering your business and making sure your business is set up properly, legally, all the things. So definitely make sure you get your name trademarked. And yes, you can get your brand name trademarked, but that's a topic for a whole different day. I'll probably get somebody on here to talk about that, child, because I'm not a trademark attorney. No, ma'am. I know a little bit. I dip and dab, but I'm not like a trademark attorney. So just throwing it out there. Also, call your Secretary of State. They can literally walk you through the online process of how to register your business. Let's say you know for a fact you want to start off with getting an LLC. Like I said, that's probably the most common, but please speak to someone that can understand you and your business needs that are specific to what you need. Yes, my videos are supposed to be helpful and give you guidance, but there are some times where you need like the specifics within you, your brand, your business, your money, your finances, all those things, in order to make sure you are getting the best advice possible. So definitely seek a professional about its taxes. You want to make sure that you understand that you need to pay taxes at some point, okay? Some people pay quarterly, some people pay yearly, but because you are getting money that is not taxed on, essentially, the money that you're getting from brand partnerships, 9.999 times out of 10 are not being taxed. So think about it like this. Let's say, for example, you got $10,000 from a brand partnership. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Okay. Get to the bag. But none of that money is taxed. You have to start reporting money that you receive at $600. So $10,000 is more than $600. Listen, I'm not a math whiz. I was a math. Fun fact, I was a math tutor in college. But so that tells you, okay, great. I need to make sure that I provide that brand with a W-2 and they give me a 1099 for taxes. But again, none of that money has been taxed on. As a self-employed individual, you usually have to pay state tax, federal tax, and then if you have a county, yes, Alabama, child, some of the counties have county tax. I'm like, girl. But again, you're not getting taxed on that $10,000. So the self-employment tax, I believe, is 15.3%. I always get it mixed up with 15.2 or 15.3. I want to say it's 15.3%. That is a lot of money, and that adds up very quickly. Let me do a quick calculation. 15.3% of $10,000 is $1,530. $1,530. So let's just say you had your six-figure year. I know. I hear you. Yes. 15.3% of $100,000 is $15,300. Do you see? You need to make sure you have a process, you have a system, and you are saving for taxes. This is the part that can feel a lot stressful. That's why I wanted to put emphasis on the business side of being an influencer, because it can feel overwhelming to try to stay in your creative zone and interact with your audience and all the fun, exciting parts that comes along with this amazing career. But if your business is not set up properly, if you have no clue how taxes work, child, you're going to be paying Uncle Tom, the IRS, and everybody and their cousin, daddy, grandpa too much money unnecessarily. Also, a benefit with having a business, kind of bringing it back to one, is that you can write off a lot more in your taxes. Yes, as a sole proprietor, which you are when you're making money as an individual, regardless if you have a business entity, you're able to write off taxes. You're able to, as people say, it's a tax write-off, it's all great. Yes, but there are a lot more limitations when you don't have a registered business. So think about that as well. Talk to a professional, and child, set your business up properly so your taxes are giving what's supposed to get. I want to talk about contracts. I love contracts. I can nerd out on contracts, but I won't bore y'all, okay? Y'all can watch other videos. I will leave them linked in the description box, in the cards, so you guys can check out those videos. But contracts are so important, and contracts do not only reference brand deal contracts or influencer contracts. It could be, let's say you're trying to hire an assistant. You should have an independent contractor contract for them to sign. Why? Because let's say you have to give them some confidential information. You want to make sure you are protecting you, your business, and your image, your copyright, your intellectual property, I could go on, child. That could turn into a whole different thing, okay? You want to make sure that you are legally protected. Listen, I've talked to several clients. I'd say I probably have reviewed over 100 contracts at this point from a variety of different influencers, from nano influencers to micro to mega, so many different levels of influencers at this point, right? So with that being said, there has been so many that have come to me either after the fact where I can't do much and say, I didn't even know that word was important. Or I didn't think it would be that bad. Or the brand said, oh, it's just our standard contract. They know they're wrong. So that's why I am here to help you. I want to ease your mind when it comes to contracts. They don't have to be scary. They don't have to be tricky. They don't have to be sneaky or like this intimidating thing. If you are confused or if you're just struggling with trying to understand it, book a clarity call with me and we'll go through some of the specific questions you have. If you're like, Cameron, I want you to review the whole thing, girl. I don't want no parts, okay? Review the whole thing. Then book a contract consultation with me. I'd be more than happy to review the contract, go over it, revise it, update it, send my recommendations and suggestions and all those things so you feel more secure in your partnership and you can focus in your zone as a creator. As a creator myself, I know how it feels to be all over the place, trying to run the business, trying to do all these things and several other things we're going to get into in this video where it's taking up so much of your time. So that's why I am here to help you. I'm so excited. So make sure you are thoroughly reading your contracts. And if a brand does not provide you with a contract, I have a contract template. Make sure you have something, very much something in your back pocket. Because what happens is, let's say you're working with a brand for the first time and they don't have a contract. And from your understanding within the email communications, they want one Instagram and feed post and they want it within the month of February 2022, right? But let's say in their mind, once they send the product, you're going to post it within 7 days of receiving. And they're responding to you and going back and forth and saying, we're not going to pay you because you didn't post it on time. There's so much confusion in there. And with a contract, you can reference one document, whether it's 1 page, 3 pages, 10 pages, 20 pages, but it's one place you can go to versus email communications. You got to sort through them, go to Control F, can't find nothing. It's confusing. Everybody lost. Ain't nobody signed nothing. It's too much. So get everything in a contract. It makes it so much easier. And then also if the brand is late on something or there is confusion, both you and the brand can say, please see attached for the contract. I've highlighted page 4 where we're having this communication issue or whatever the case may be. It just really helps you feel more secure in the partnership. So don't be afraid of a contract and have your own if they don't have them. We're at topic number 4 today, and the business entity, taxes, contracts, and the actual brand partnership content creating. All of that, a lot of times, is done by one person, which leads me into the 5th thing I want to talk about, which is building a team. I would argue that building a team is kind of like a new thing that is being, it's probably not new, but I'd say a lot more people are talking about building a team as an influencer, and I love it. I love it. I am here for it because I myself am still learning how to build a team, not only for Cameron Monet, but also for the Legal Tea, and how to bridge the gap between the two, but keep it separate yet together, and make sure I have the right people on my team that are as passionate about my business as me. That's one thing that I found to be very hard, is to find people that truly want to pour into your business like you do. As an entrepreneur, a creator, and an influencer, for me, my business, my brand is my baby. So it's so hard to get people in to like really understand how important this is to me. But we have to delegate. Say it with me. We have to delegate. We have to expand. We have to outsource in order to grow a lot of times. Not always and not too soon, but at the right time. If you're reaching that ceiling when there shouldn't be, okay, not an entrepreneurship, there ain't no ceiling, who makes it a bag, okay, right, make the money. But when you're reaching that ceiling when you don't have the capacity to continue to say yes to brand partnerships that you want to do, when you don't have the capacity to reach and help the amount of clients that you want to help, it's time to start figuring out how can you build a team. And it could be something as small as getting an operation business manager, which I love mine. She has helped me 75,000 times. Like, I mean, she is just phenomenal with making sure my systems and things are together, which is also something I'm gonna mention in a moment. But getting a virtual assistant to just offload some of the smaller, tedious tasks that just take up your time and take your mind out of what you should be focusing on in order to grow the business and make more money. Whatever you need to do, start to do some research on those job descriptions, do some research on LinkedIn, reach out to other creators and influencers and ask them, do you have a team? Because you would be surprised. A lot of people do have teams. Okay? And I'm like, how is this posting every day on Instagram, posting every day on YouTube, on TikTok? She has a whole team. It's not just her. He has a whole team. It's not just him. So keep in mind, a lot of us, and myself included now, has help, which I'm so excited to continue to expand my team. Oh, y'all, I'm so sorry. The lighting just changed because the sun is starting to go down. It's starting to set. So I'm sorry the lighting has changed, but I hope you're still good. I hope y'all still here. Y'all still with me? Y'all still good? We still good? Okay. So the sixth thing I want to talk about is systems, processes. In other words, it's the big, business term, SOPs, standard operation procedures, i.e. like your systems and processes and how everything works. The importance of having a process or writing down what's in your head and how you go from reaching out to brands or the brand reaching out to you all the way to getting paid, like that whole process. And or if you're working with clients or you're doing consultations, or maybe you're just or maybe you're creating content for a brand for their magazines or digital spaces, etc. Like I'm trying to name everything that you would do, but influencers do a lot, okay? But no matter what you're doing, there is a process that you use, right? Some type of system that you use, whether it's a task management software or a Google Calendar or a QD scheduling, whatever the case may be, there's a process and there's a system that goes along with it. Write it down. That is your SOP, your standard operation procedures. Because what's going to happen is when you have a team, they're going to be looking at you, you're going to be looking at them, they're going to be like, hi, what do we do? You can be like, it's all in my head. And that's just not helpful. And also, you'd be surprised, and I've noticed, I guess I won't say y'all be surprised, but I was surprised. After I told like my operations manager how I was doing things, and she was like, how about this? Girl, that was better. Girl, automate me, delegate me. Y'all can do it, okay? So writing it down also can help simplify it, make it more concise, and help others help you in a better capacity because they understand what's going on in your head and how you used to do things and how they can now step in and make them better and or make sure they're implementing them exactly how you are used to doing. So make sure you're writing everything down. It seems tedious. Honestly, this has been the hardest part about growing my business, growing my brand, being an influencer. This is one of the hardest parts in business because no one can really do this part but you. You have to sit back and think, okay, I have been playing all of these roles for so long. How do I write this down? Where do I start? What would be helpful? What programs do I use? What systems, etc.? Also, keep in mind that during this time, you're probably also managing a lot of brand partnerships and trying to train your team and all these things. Ciao. And your audience be like, why are you off social media? Girl, I'm trying to get my business together. But seriously, yeah, that to me has been the hardest part, is trying to get my brain on paper and then set up systems and processes to make it more seamless. So last but certainly not least, the seventh thing I want to mention is additional streams of income. Okay, so as we know, brand partnerships is probably, like I said, one of the first things we think of as an influencer when it comes to making money. But there are so many other areas that you can make money in, such as affiliate programs. You can do just traditional advertising and marketing and modeling. You can do content creation where you're creating content just for the brand to use and not to post on your social media pages. You can have membership groups and subscriptions. YouTube, we make money from AdSense, so you can monetize your platforms. You can monetize your blogs with AdSense, and so many other things you can do to make money. But remember, capacity. You want to make sure that you're able to do all of those things to the best of your capacity and or delegate and build a team in order to do those as well. Also, I will say we've seen a ton of creators, which I love personally, create their own products and services. Don't be afraid to launch that merch, to launch that service, that course, that etc. If you are a credible resource and you have the value you can bring and you know your audience needs to receive it, of course. Don't just do it just to do it and make some more money, but be strategic about it, right? Plan and make sure that it is seamless with your brand identity and it's something that is needed in the current market. So I'm all for creators coming up with their products and services. Let's do it, because if we can promote other brands' products and services, why not promote our own? I'm gonna sip on that one. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you did enjoy it, and definitely leave me some comments down below. Let me know if you guys want me to break down any of these topics or talk about anything else. Definitely ask me the questions, y'all. I'm here to help. I want to make sure the value that I'm bringing is actually helpful and valuable to you, and the answers that you are looking for to the questions that you have, because this is still such a new industry, but it is a billion-dollar industry. I said billion, big B's, okay? Thank you again to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Definitely make sure you guys check the link in the description box below so you can get some help as well. And again, it's BetterHelp, B-E-T-T-E-R, help, H-E-L-P. I know it's kind of hard to hear sometimes, and I know y'all be talking very fast, but I always end my videos with an affirmation. So of course I gotta end this video with one as well. So if you made it this far in the video, make sure you guys comment below, I am happy to be me. That was a good one. I feel like that sums up like this video, because sometimes it can feel like kind of like uncomfortable to be like, I'm an influencer, when people ask what you do. And then also, of course, talking about BetterHelp, I want to put emphasis on you are enough, you are good just as you are. Like, just be happy with what you got. I mean, listen, sometimes we get dealt cards, we want other ones, but it's okay. You're gonna make it do what it do, because I know you can. So I'm gonna run that back one time for the one time. I am happy to be me. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next one.